Folsom High School volleyball has not historically been known as a powerhouse within the Sac Joaquin section. 8 straight single-win seasons plagued most of the 2010s for the Bulldogs, but there's been an upswing in Bulldog Nation on the volleyball court, coinciding with the arrival of head coach Devin Elmore.
I think a lot of that has to do with him coming in. He always has like a saying where he's like, if you're like getting in the lake, like everyone's getting in full body, you're going under. Like everyone's in it together or you're not in at all. When he came in to coach for us my sophomore year, he really helped me like blossom as a player, I feel like. I think he just wants what's best for us, and he also wants to win, which drives everyone else to just work harder.
Growing up in the area, Folsom football definitely has always been kind of the talk of the town, even since I was little. So it's like getting this opportunity to come into a well-established program or school that's known for sports but hasn't quite had that same success in volleyball yet. Kind of any coach's dream, really.
The team has bought into Elmore's philosophies. Folsom reached the NorCal Final Four last year and is off to a promising start in 2024.
I think things could have gone a lot differently if he hadn't come to our program when he did. And it's been uphill since then, and I feel like a lot of that has to do with him being so invested and him really caring about the girls and the sport, and he just loves it, and he makes us love it because of his commitment, I guess.
When they're playing their best, there's no one out there that they're afraid of, so it's going to be a fun season.
But it was only a few months ago that the Bulldogs were uncertain if their head coach would even be on the sidelines for this season, as they received news back in April that Coach Elmore had been suddenly hospitalized.
I got real sick, and I was throwing up one night and think it was food poisoning or something, and just kept kind of gradually getting worse throughout the week. And it was weird because I wasn't really having any other flu type symptoms, but my body was super chest and back were super tight, and my neck was starting to get super stiff. And we went to the ER, and they were like, hey, there's nothing showing up on your x-ray, no bronchitis, no pneumonia, no COVID, so we don't really know what's going on. We're going to send you home with some antibiotics, but keep us updated. And 2 days later, I woke up and my whole throat had closed up. I couldn't swallow anything. I couldn't drink. I couldn't eat food.
While not 100% certain, doctors believed it to be a case of Borhavi's syndrome, described as a spontaneous rupture of the esophagus that, if not treated immediately, can be fatal within days.
To then be told, you're going to be getting surgery, and the surgery is so intense that we're actually going to put you in an ambulance and drive you over to a different Kaiser because that's where they have the chest specialist that will need to do your surgery. After that first initial surgery of my neck and my chest, they had to go back in and do another one in my neck/throat and get the rest of the infection out of there. They actually had to reteach me how to swallow with a speech pathologist because the whole time I was in there, I was being kept alive by a feeding tube they put in my nose, down to my stomach, and whatever they were putting in my IVs, so I didn't actually take a bite of food or drink something for 2 weeks.
3 emergency surgeries in 3 days kept Elmore in the hospital for 2 weeks. Luckily, he had the support of his family and his players.
No one really knew why he was in the hospital, what kind of sickness he had, what his specific condition was. We saw his posts on Instagram, and I was so concerned. I was like, oh dang, this is serious. It was really scary. Seeing people in the hospital in general is just not a good feeling. But as soon as we walked in, we were like, oh, a punch in the face almost. He's going through it.
They just lifted my mood, they're cracking jokes and they're not treating me any different. And so that probably made me feel a lot better because, like I said, it's really easy to start feeling sorry about yourself, and they come in and remind you and humble you a little bit and let you know everything's going to be okay.
Slowly but surely, Elmore made his way back to the coaching bench. Firstly, with a pretty cool battle scar, for which they're still trying to formulate a good origin story.
Bar fight, because I got the stab wounds on the side and the big cut across the neck. And
oh my gosh, we were he got attacked by a bear or something. He just wanted to change it up. That's what we said. We were like, you should just tell people that you got head replacement surgery.
I'm saving a damsel in distress or something. I think that was kind of my go-to for a little while.
Someone came into his house and he was coming to rob him, but he fought back. But the guy stabbed him or something.
whole new body, whole new face, like everything's just different. We were like, just switch it up.
There's so many good ways you could go with it.
And secondly, with a whole lot of gratitude for family, for life, and for volleyball.
Even a horrible day at volleyball was better than my best day in the hospital.
It's exciting for everyone and exciting for him that he's back to where he was and he's getting back in his groove. So,
You know, I've always thought scars are just something that shows that you're stronger than whatever tried to take you out. Come out the other side, still have a good positive outward look on the world, you know, and show love to those in my life that I am appreciative for, no matter how little. So that's my biggest takeaways.
From Folsom High School, I'm Nick Pecoraro, and this is Premier Preps.